The opening scene to this movie is so darkly hilarious. It also has Udo Kier in one of his weirdest voice acting roles. Today, we are talking all things Chompy and the girls. Welcome back. We are now 8 episodes into this podcast, and I haven't really shared much else other than horror news and movie related stuff. So today I figured I would start this episode by telling you a few random facts about me. I don't know if all of you are here from my horror channel, which some of you may be listening on my horror channel, some of you may be listening just on your audio platforms, but whatever. As you probably know by now, my name is Ashley. When I was born, my dad actually wanted to name me Wilma, allegedly, because he loved the Flintstones so much at the time. I'm really glad that didn't stick. When I am not consuming all things horror, I work full-time as a cosmetician as my day job, and I also run a small business with my fiance Alex, who you guys know from our other podcast, Nefarious Things, or his channel Off the Cuff Reviews. We run our small business called Shop Team Nefarious for obvious reasons, where we sell handmade, affordable art, accessories, and decor. It's been a really interesting few years branching out, and now we're doing in-person markets. It's been really fun. But it's also a learning curve, and we're still definitely getting the hang of things. Last year, we got our first canopy, thanks to Alex's mom. She bought it for us, and we had the canopy set up, and I somehow managed to stand with my back out of the canopy, and I got the worst sunburn of my life. I had a little bit of sun poisoning, I think, and we really got to do better this year. But anyways, we have 5 cats: Rin, Peep, Ginger, Ace, and Bean, and there's one of them meowing right now. We are just a little family. But anyways, enough about me for now. Let's get into today's movie. As soon as we watched this a few years back, I knew this was going to be an instant favorite. Chompy and the Girls from 2021, directed by Sky Brabrand. A troubled woman meets her father for the first time, and their encounter goes from awkward to alarming when they witness a man swallow a little girl whole. Now, I understand if this seems like the kind of film you may skip or may turn off a few minutes in. It's definitely not for everyone. It's low budget and has some questionable effects that totally work, by the way, and it has a tone that I don't think is for general audiences. This movie is for the weirdos, and that's us. That's why you're here. Welcome to the universe where familial awkwardness meets a guy with a 4-foot mouth. We begin with an attempted suicide, and don't let that deter you. It doesn't end in any kind of damage except maybe embarrassment. But anyways, the movie kicks off like something you might expect from a low-budget character piece. Jackson, a troubled young woman, she reaches out to her dad, Sam, for the first time. It has a classic drama setup. It's emotional. It has tension, identity questions, maybe a therapy bill or two, but then it gets even more unhinged somehow. I think that's a good word for it. Just as they're about to awkwardly part ways at a park, a man with an absurdly huge mouth appears and swallows a little girl whole. Not metaphorically, like literally, like. Now this becomes the defining image of the film. Literally, Chompy's face is on the poster. It becomes absurd from there, horrifying and almost comically surreal. And the movie goes on a joyride into interdimensional madness, creepy multiplying little girls, paranormal energy, self-help and insecurity explorations, and more weird than you even bargained for. It's like if It Follows were made by someone who really likes awkward family comedies and then decided, you know what? Let's just make his mouth 4 feet wide. The first time we see Chompy, he opens his mouth so wide it takes up most of his torso. He swallows a small girl. The sheer weirdness in that moment is one of the big reasons people remember the movie. It's iconic. It feels like a cult film. And like I mentioned, Udo Kier provides the voice for Chompy while another actor physically plays him. The Chompy creature is a mix of practical effects and a little bit of CGI, giving it a uniquely bizarre look that audiences either found hilarious, chaotic, or stupidly uncanny. The movie was written, directed, and produced by Sky Brabrand, meaning just like our previous film, Larry Fessenden's Habit, the whole bizarre vision basically came from one creative brain, driving it from start to finish. Another indie auteur, and we love that kind of energy around here. The story isn't just about a creepy guy eating children. It gets into interdimensional entities, clones of little girls who are much more than just little girls, by the way, which makes it more than a straight horror film. It's part horror, it's part comedy, part cosmic puzzle. Some reviews describe it as everything from part sci-fi to part deadpan comedy to absurd surrealism. It's one of those films that resists any easy categorization. So, the thing about Chompy and the girls, if you go into it expecting clean answers, big horror payoffs, or even a traditional monster movie structure, you're going to be confused. But if you let it be this awkward, deadpan, emotionally off, weird indie experiment about estranged family dynamics colliding with a literal cosmic mouth entity, it becomes way more interesting. Underneath the absurdity and the did that man just swallow a child whole energy, there is something oddly tender about insecurity, reconnection, and just trying to exist in a world that makes zero sense. It's not loud horror or a super jokey comedy. It's a strange little tonal tightrope walk, and honestly, I kind of respect it for committing to the whole bit. Plus, you get Udo Kier voicing a surreal mouth monster, which is just peak cult cinema behavior. So whether you think it's brilliant, baffling, or a 3 a.m. streaming accident you'll never forget, trust me, this is one of the movies you may just be autoplayed on Tubi. At least it's not boring. And for low-budget horror that I found on Tubi, it counts for something. And in saying that, Tubi has a fantastic collection of horror movies. I've recommended a bunch on my channel, but there's so many underrated gems on Tubi like this one, like Lowlifes, like Bystanders, another film we'll talk about eventually. There's so many hidden gems over on Tubi that you should put on your radar immediately. And in saying all that, thank you so much for being here and for listening and for being weird. And I'll talk to you in the next video. Sayonara, suckers.